I think I might have to sit down. I've been standing up for too long. And I don't want to make any huge generalizations about women, you know. No, I'm not here to do that. It's vulgar. But all I'll say is that they have no feelings. Because it's actually men, you'll find, who are far more romantic. Men are the people you will hear say, I found somebody. She's amazing. If I don't get to be with this person, I'm fucked. I can't carry on. I know I mean it. She's totally transformed my life. I have a job, I have a flat, it means nothing. I can't stand it. I have to be with her, because if I don't, I'm going to end up in some bedsit, I'll be alcoholic, I'll have itchy trousers. I can't walk the streets anymore. That is how women feel about shoes.
Robots. Yeah, I saw one get interviewed on 60 Minutes, the top journalistic program in the United States. And he's just sitting there getting interviewed, not nervous at all, just rattling off all the fucking answers, you know? Not smoking, not fucking, you know, leaking oil, whatever you would do as a nervous robot, right? And the reporter's asking him questions, and in the end he goes, so tell us, he's like, what are your goals? And I am alone in a hotel room, and I literally lean towards the TV. I'm like, these fucking things have goals? And the fucking robot just answers. He just goes, he goes, well, what are your goals? And the robot goes, to become smarter than human beings. Yeah. And the reporter just blows by it. He goes like, okay, and what's your favorite color? Meanwhile, I'm standing on my bed yelling at the TV like, dude, unplug that fucking thing! Take the batteries out! Pull the wires out! Do something! How many sci-fi movies do you have to see before you realize where this is going? So anyways, every smart person, every super smart person in the world is saying these fucking things are gonna kill us. Even your boy here, the guy who he recently died, what was his name? He was always sitting down. Hawkins, Stephen Hawkins, yeah. Too good to fucking stand up and make his point, just sitting down all fucking smarmy. Oh, I care so much, I poured ice on myself. And I showed my abs at the same time for the gram. No, I'm just fucking with you. I'm so glad that guy's fucking dead, though. You know? Look at you guys, your heart. How much longer do you want him to suffer? You don't believe in an afterlife? Maybe he's up there now, his fucking legs work, he's getting an angelic blowjob. How much longer do you want him to fucking sit there so you could feel better about yourself? Well, at least I'm not all fucking twisted up saying smart shit, right? I couldn't fucking stand that guy. He was so fucking negative. He never had anything positive to say. Hey, Steve, what do you got for us today? In 2035, there'll be no more apples. Thank you, Steve. Thanks a lot. Wasn't thinking about that. Now I am. Hey, so what's the solution? It's too late. We needed to try 40 years ago. Thanks a lot, buddy. I'm gonna go cry with my child now. Dude, I can hang out with that guy for about 3 minutes before I took the brake off his chair and just zoomed him into the other room. Hey, Steve, come back in when you got something dumb and positive to say.
Shall I tell you what I'm like, Johnny? I think I can explain myself to you. When I was a wee boy, my granddad used to take me up into the loft. He'd take down a chest that he had up there. He'd open up the chest. Do you know what was in it? A mermaid. And he'd have me stripped naked as a wee boy and make love to that mermaid on the floor while he watched for his sexual gratification. Now, years later, when the old bastard was dead, I went back up into the loft. I took down the chest and opened it up. Do you know what I found in there? A dead monkey with its legs sewn together. You remind me of that monkey, Johnny.
has a competition in their brain of good thoughts and bad thoughts. Hopefully the good thoughts win. For me, I always have both. I have like the thing I believe, the good thing. That's the thing I believe. And then there's this thing. And I don't believe it, but it is there. It's always this thing and then this thing. It's become a category in my brain that I call, of course, but maybe. I'll give you an example. Okay, like of course, children who have nut allergies need to be protected. Of course. We have to segregate their food from nuts, have their medication available at all times, and anybody who manufactures or serves food needs to be aware of deadly nut allergies. Of course. But maybe if touching a nut kills you, you're supposed to die. Of course not. Of course not. Of course not. Jesus. I have a nephew who has that. I'd be devastated if something happened to him. But maybe, maybe, if we all just do this for 1 year, we're done with nut allergies forever. No, of course not. Of course, if you're fighting for your country and you get shot or hurt, it's a terrible tragedy. Of course. Of course. But maybe if you pick up a gun and go to another country and you get shot, it's not that weird. Maybe if you get shot by the dude you were just shooting at, it's a tiny bit your fault. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Listen, you all clapped for dead kids with the nuts. For kids dying from nuts, you applauded. So you're in this with me now, do you understand? You don't get to cherry pick. Those kids did nothing to you. Of course, slavery is the worst thing that ever happened. Of course it is. Every time it's happened. Black people in America, Jews in Egypt, every time a whole race of people has been enslaved, it's a terrible, horrible thing. Of course. But maybe every incredible human achievement in history was done with slaves. Every single thing where you go, how did they build those pyramids? They just threw human death and suffering at them until they were finished. How did we traverse the nation with a railroad so quickly? We just threw Chinese people in caves and blew them up and didn't give a shit what happened to them. There's no end to what you can do when you don't give a fuck about particular people. You can do anything. That's where human greatness comes from, is that we're shitty people, that we fuck others over. Even today, how do we have this amazing microtechnology? Because the factory where they're making these, they jump off the fucking roof because it's a nightmare in there. You really have a choice. You can have candles and horses and be a little kinder to each other, or let someone suffer immeasurably far away just so you can leave a mean comment on YouTube while you're taking a shit.
Scary, that ISIS. What the ISIS is doing now, the ISIS is using social media to recruit disenfranchised, angry youth to join them. And that's what I do. That's my demographic. Fuck off, ISIS. I'm working this corner. That's my people. I have never felt threatened by any other comedian. I never had a comedic rival that worried me. If you're into the weird shit that I do, I'm the only guy selling. It's a very small niche fan base of weird people that'll fly from all over the world to come and sit in 150 seats. Jeff Dunham and Peanut is playing across the street for free. You're not flipping a coin. You're here. I got you. No comic has threatened me. ISIS worries me. That's you, the angry, young, disturbed, knock-kneed kid in a Misfits t-shirt that showed up alone, lonely and hapless and helpless. Yeah, stay with me. Don't join the ISIS, kid. I actually care about you a little bit. ISIS does not care about you. You think you could have got a selfie with Jihadi John after a Friday night beheading? No. He wouldn't even talk to you. I'll take a selfie with you after the show.
I was sitting at home watching television with my wife the other day, and for those of you that have children, you will know to even get to a point where you're able to watch what you want to on television is a bloody miracle, right? You've got to deal with what these little shits want to do first, right? And on this particular day, they wanted to watch Disney DVDs. I just about managed to convince them to not watch Finding Nemo. Now, I know that sounds mad, because Finding Nemo is a great film. I assume people are fans of it in here. It's a lovely movie. This fish goes along and saves his son. It's wonderful, heartwarming. Unfortunately, when you have children, that film is ruined, right? Because I'm watching Finding Nemo now, and I'm thinking to myself, I mean, he told Nemo repeatedly to stop pissing around, right? Because Nemo wouldn't listen. He's got to go dicking across the other side of the world to go and get him. And at the end of the film, Nemo's dad's supposed to learn a lesson about chilling out. Piss off. If I was directing that film, Nemo would have got kidnapped, his dad would have gone, I told you, you little prick. Enjoy the fish tank, dickhead. And then the sequel would have been called Grounding Nemo. Anyway, we didn't watch Finding Nemo, we watched Beauty and the Beast. It's a classic. I'm watching this film and I'm thinking, this ain't right either. You've got a story of Belle who falls in love with the beast, looks beneath the surface, falls in love with the person underneath. He turns into a prince. They live happily ever after. I can't help thinking the message from this film seems to be, look beneath the surface, fall in love with the person beneath, and hopefully, they will undergo some sort of major reconstructive surgery that will enable you to bring yourself to sleep with them.
It feels good doing stand-up again. I took a year off from stand-up. Not that I don't like stand-up as much as I just don't like microphones. I'm sick of talking in them. I mean, I used to work at Burger King for 6 years. I didn't work the mic, I worked the grill. A guy named Steve used to work the mic, and I thought he was just a pain in my ass. He used to, every time someone orders something, hi, how are you? Could I have a Whopper with cheese? Sure. A Whopper with cheese? You son of a bitch, I'm right behind you. Just turn around and ask me for a Whopper. You know, Canada's nice. This is kind of like a kinder and gentler America. In a way. Even like the police are nicer. I'm not gonna say they're nice, I don't know. But they just smile at least, you know? I've been to jail before, twice, not as a prisoner. One time was from childhood. I was suspended from school 23 times during February. I wasn't bad though, I was just mischievous. I got hold of all my teachers' home phone numbers. At the time, I thought it was funny. I was calling in death threats. I know that's bad, man. You know, my English teacher, Mr. Johnson, I called him up. He was all nice on the phone.
Hello? Johnson residence. Is this Mr. Johnson? Yes, it is. And who might this be? You're a dead man, Johnson.
Who
is this? Shut up, punk! You're gonna die. Unless you change David Chappelle's grades.
I don't know how he caught me. After that, they put me in a program called Scared Straight. Have you ever heard of this? This is where they put bad kids like me in prison. And the prisoners yell at us, they tell us scary stories. You know, they try to scare us into being good. And the other kids were scared. But I was not scared. I was just heckling the guy. Hey, shut up, you convict. Like, I'm gonna take advice from you. You look like a person that made all the right choices in life. Wrap this up. I gotta be out of here by 3. What time you leaving? The other time I went to jail was, had nothing to do with me, really. I was just bailing a friend of mine out of jail, which is probably no big deal to you, but if you're a black dude, you know, you gotta walk right into the belly of the beast. You don't wanna. What kind of black dude wants to go to jail? I was scared. I had to look non-threatening. Hey, how are you? I'm here to bail out a friend of mine. Oh, okay. While you're here, you do fit a description. If you'll just walk this way, we can...
28 minutes, anti-Islamic observational comedy together. Daily Mail off-back, illusion of balance, Islamophobic market. And then as luck would have it, one Saturday morning I was on the 149 bus in East London, round here where I live. I was travelling up from Liverpool Street Station to Stamford Hill, and on the bus I saw, on the only empty seat on the bus, an abandoned copy of the Jehovah's Witnesses magazine, Watchtower, right? Now, I love the Jehovah's Witnesses, not least of all because they have predicted the end of the world wrongly 5 times now. And they don't seem to feel this compromises them in any way.
That's right, Stu! Have a go at the Jehovah's Witnesses, mate! For not being able to predict the future. Well done. This is you, this is what you think, isn't it? Back at home with your Inner Sun editorial ticking away. Have a go at them. How come none of you politically correct 1980s gay Marxist comedians never have a go at the fucking Muslims, do you? When you gonna stick it to the Islams? Come on! Get the Muslims, you fucking gay cunt!
Who are you?
See the Islamophobia out there. It's like a furnace of hate. Get them now! 1 in 5 Muslims thinks that Morecambe and Wise were better when they went to ITV. This is you, it's what you think. 1 in 5 Muslims thinks Paul McGann was an acceptable Doctor Who. That's what you think, that's what they think. 1 in 5 Muslims has some sympathy with David Bowie's late 90s drum and bass period. That's what you... Get them now!
All right, calm down. I can't just come out here and start laying into Islam out of nowhere, can I? No, I've got to stick it to all the stupid, weak religions first of all, and then use their shattered bones as a kind of makeshift rope ladder to climb up and urinate through the letterbox of heaven.
Get them now! Get them, you!
All right.